Boa noite a todos. Unbroken Old School, o canal de YouTube de culturismo em Portugal, o vosso canal, o nosso espaço. E cá estamos nós em mais uma edição de Hardcore Bodybuilding After Hours. Hoje, um momento incrível. Já tivemos vários aqui. Já tivemos o prazer de ter aqui bastantes convidados. Todos eles com a sua importância, todos eles merecem todo o meu respeito, mas de facto hoje é um momento que me emociona bastante, porque estamos a falar de alguém que eu pessoalmente acredito que tem todo o potencial do mundo para nos próximos anos se tornar um contender top 5 Mr Olympia. Samson Dauda, um culturista fabuloso de origem nigeriana. Aqui está. Samson, how are you, my friend? Are you listening? Hello, Samson. I can't hear you. Oh shit. There's some problem going on because I can't hear you. Okay, can you hear me now? Are you listening, my friend? Do you have sound? Can you listen my voice?
That's better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Oh, Samson. First of all, my friend, good morning for you. I know it's good morning in Seul. Oh, you freeze now. This is normal. These kinds of. Are you back?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm back. Yeah, finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. First of all, I want to say good morning for you because it's good morning in Seul. Yeah, my friend. Then after I want to say that I was telling my listeners that I'm a little bit. I have to be sorry. I want you to understand that I'm a little bit nervous because yeah, because I think it's very humble and very nice for you to accept my invitation. You know, we've been talking through the Facebook the last months, and I've made you an invitation to come to Portugal as soon as you can with your wife. It's still on, as you know. And in this moment of your career, I felt the urge to speak with you because what are you doing, my friend? I believe it's something normal for you. It comes from your heart, but it really is something completely out of this world. You know, you really have to have a great love and determination for this sport, my friend.
Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy, you know. But we had the opportunity to kind of compete this year, and where we've had so many missed opportunities all year, it felt like, you know what, just you got to take risks, man. You got to take a chance if you really want to make things happen. So for me, I was like, okay, why not? Give it a go.
But let's start this interview. You know, I have usually I name these interviews life stories. You know, and what I would like, if you don't mind, is to tell everybody who Samson Dauda is. So we can start by telling everybody, how old are you at this moment?
Yeah, so at this moment, I'm currently 34 years old. Turned 34 this year. So so
you were born in Nigeria.
Yes, originally born in Nigeria, and then came to the UK as a teenager when I was 16 years old. So
16, nice.
Yeah.
So
You know.
you still have good memories from Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
You know, I'm from Africa also. You know, I'm from South
Oh, right.
Africa.
Oh,
Yeah,
you South
yeah, yeah.
African.
I was born in South Africa, you know, and I came to Portugal with 11 years old. So
Oh, right. Very definitely.
yeah, because of the apartheid, you know, Nelson Mandela and
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
things,
yeah,
I came to
yeah,
Portugal. So I know this beautiful continent, Africa, you know. So
yeah.
I know what it is to be young in these countries. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. You know, it
And
definitely.
Samson, you come from a large family. Do you have brothers and
Yeah,
sisters?
yeah, yes. I have. So I have four other brothers, and then
Oh,
three sisters. So I got
oh
really loud
shit!
family. You know? So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, you know, and
and
right now we kind of spread across the world. You know, so different, live in all different
yeah.
countries. We all
Oh,
are. So.
nice, nice. And your brothers, they have your genetic also, or you're the only one who is big?
I'm the only one who goes to the gym. I'm the only one who actually trains. You know, I mean, they might have my genetics, but they've never actually pushed in the gym or trained like that, so we don't know. You know, so I'm the only one who's ever actually trained like that to actually get to this point because I didn't even know I had the genetics for this sport until I started going to the gym. You know, and then
Yeah,
everybody looked and go, "Wow, you know, you can do this
yeah,
sport." But you know,
nice.
it's just what it is.
Yes. So tell me, how was growing up as a young kid with 16 in England? It was a big difference going
It
from
was a big difference.
Nigeria to England.
Of course, it was a big difference, you know, especially coming from Nigeria to here. You know, you're trying to recognize the language and obviously the terms. Where Nigeria, we do speak English, but it's broken English, you know.
Yeah,
So when we come to England now, you're trying to understand your way around as a teenager. You know, trying to pick up the language, and you know, life as a teenager in any country is hard, you know. So you're trying to
yeah,
understand obviously all these things and how the schools works and how to get friends and everything else. So it's quite interesting, but you know, if you just make it happen. You know, eventually you make it happen. You find where your niche is and you find what your strengths are, and you start to learn about yourself and learn about people and learn about the culture that you're in. So yeah, it
nice.
was interesting.
Probably this young generation doesn't know, but Nigeria, it has a tradition of having
Yeah.
always big bodybuilders, very big bodybuilders. In my time, in the 80s,
Yeah.
90s, and they still say the biggest bodybuilder ever was from
Yeah.
Nigeria. You know that?
Oh really? Oh wow.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
No, I definitely didn't know that one.
I'm trying to remember the name. I will remember
Yeah.
in a few minutes. But he was huge. I remember in the 90s he did an exhibition in Fibo, Germany,
All
with
right.
Dorian
Yeah.
Yates, Kevin Lebron, Flex Wheeler, all those guys, and you know he shadowed all these guys. He
Oh
was
really?
huge. Yeah, he
Oh,
didn't
wow.
compete. He didn't want to compete.
No,
He just wanted to be big.
no, he just wanted to be
Yeah,
a body
yeah.
big guy.
Yeah,
Oh, freaking hell, I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
don't know.
Huge,
Check it
huge.
out.
I will remember the name and I will tell you. So you
Yeah, that's
can go
definitely,
and
definitely.
check. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy. He lived in Canada, but his name was Fred Antwi. You never heard about him.
Okay. No, I haven't heard Fred Anthony. No.
He was from Nigeria, you know. I brought him to
Yeah.
Portugal. He was a pro, he was a professional. Very good.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very similar physique to yours. Yeah,
Oh,
very
really?
similar.
Okay.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
guys,
in
this is
the
the guys I got
90s.
to check out. These are the kind of guys I need to check out and actually see because I've never actually had a chance to obviously look at a bunch of Nigerian bodybuilders that actually come from that point. So it's nice
Yeah,
to
yeah,
actually
yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
So tell me, when did you start training bodybuilding, and what led you to the gym?
So I started training in the gym in 2012. You know, so
Only
basically, yeah, that soon. You know, it was only
8 years. You only
yeah.
have 8 years. Holy shit!
So I basically started at the gym like normally, just in about 2012 and everything. So I met my partner, you know, my girlfriend in the gym, and we started training together and talking. And then we kind of got to know each other, and she said to me that, look, why don't you think about like training? Why don't you think about like competing? Because she could see the potential in it. And she said, look, why don't you think about like, do you ever think about doing bodybuilding? So I was like, no, I wasn't interested for a long time. I was just not interested in it. So she kept on obviously pitching the idea and saying, because then I was playing rugby as a sport, you know, very rough sport.
Oh, you played rugby.
Yeah, so she was like, no, think about it, man. You might actually have something going on there. So eventually the guys at the rugby club started seeing I was
here you are playing rugby.
yeah, that's it. You know, the guys, they started seeing me putting on muscles and stuff. And they just said, look, do you ever think about like doing a physique competition? So when they said it as well, for me, it kind of clicked, and I saw, okay, you know, maybe there is something to it. So we basically sat together and said, okay, we'll do our first ever show, which was a local show, Hercules Olympia at the time, in 2014. So basically, that was my very first ever show. And basically, I came into that show, and we then went second in that. When we did the first show in that one, I did like the first timers, people that's never competed before. So I won that class, you know, and then they told me, okay, you know what, why don't I compete with the bigger boys, you know, compete with the bigger, older, more experienced guys. So later on that same day, later that evening, came on stage with the big guys and everything. I was obviously overwhelmed, thinking, wow, this is amazing. So I then went in there and I then won the class with the bigger boys as well. And then from that point on, I sort of knew that, okay, you know what, there's a potential for this sport. You know, this sport is definitely for me, you know, because after putting in just that much work already and seeing results, I was like, okay, you know what, if I really concentrate on this sport, it definitely something will happen. So from that point on, it just started for me. I just went from one show to another show and just kind of compete from one place to another place. And then 2017, I won my pro card in Diamond Cup in Italy.
Nice. So how was the feeling of turning pro?
Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. You know, we worked so hard for so long, and it's almost like they kind of told me that, look, you do have a potential to be a pro, but actually winning and earning that respect and earning that point of it, your career, and saying, look, hey, you finally got it to become a professional. It really was a great feeling at that time, man. It was a big, massive celebration, you know. And it was amazing. I honestly got to tell you, that was one of my best feelings yet.
Yes, but now I have to go back just a little bit, and I have to ask you this, my friend, because I've watched 2 times your interview with Fouad Habiad, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I got as much amazed, and my admiration even got bigger for you as Fouad also did, because it's incredible. Your story, it's amazing, because you remind me a lot Dorian Yates, and I will tell you why. I lived in England in 1995.
Oh, wow.
For 19 months. I lived there in Nottingham, and I worked in Sean Davis' gym, you know. He used to be Mr. Universe, Sean Davis. Very nice guy. Yeah, and I used to go to Birmingham to the Temple Gym just to watch Dorian and train there. And a couple of years after, in 1998, I brought Dorian to Portugal to do a guest pose, a seminar. And, you know, Dorian, I got a little bit close to him. And Dorian, he used to make a good team with his wife. And he used to train alone. And he was very committed, you know. And when I saw your interview, I have to be honest, I got emotional, you know, because I think it's really, really out of this world that in these days, with all these coaches and all the internet and social, you and your girlfriend, you make a team and you guys believe in yourself. And look how far did you went, huh?
I know, you know, it's amazing because, as you said, like, even the idea, because we started off, she's saying, oh, come compete. And I'm like, what do we do? And she said, okay, you know what? I'll help you out. I will learn, we'll study together. So we spent time, you know, watching YouTube videos, reading, checking out information, you know, because where we were living outside in London, just outside London in Colchester, there was no other bodybuilder. There was no other bodybuilder that was competing at that level. There's nobody else you could ask questions to. You know, I couldn't call anybody and say, hey, you know, what do I do if I want this? What do I do? So we had to learn all ourselves. So for me, it was like, okay, become, you know, we're here together, we're learning together. This is part of the sport. It's about learning your body and learning how to grow together. So when we then got into it, we started off, you know, experimenting. Okay, how do we put on more size? Eat more food, you know, eat this sort of food, eat this kind of thing. And we just, because she also have a background in nutrition, so she already knew a lot about food and nutrition. Okay, but we all know that between knowing food with nutrition and knowing bodybuilding, it's a very big gap, you know. So we start sort of learning how to actually bring that into bodybuilding, how to you know, make a plan and everything else. So we kind of just clicked right from the start of having that same trust of, okay, try this. No, it didn't work. Okay, now try this. And no, it didn't work. So with years, that has just grown through years of us working together and then doing our first show, our second show, third show. And through years, we just kind of like, we've made mistakes and we've done things wrong, but we found out through time, okay, what works and what doesn't work, what's worth doing and what's not doing. So, you know, then going all the way through your whole amateur, like just two of us, you know, and then winning your pro card. And then when we got to the pro league, we were like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe we need help now. Maybe we need a coach. Maybe we need somebody with bigger eyes and see what to do. So we did our first year as a pro. We did EVLS Prague. So we did that, our first ever show. It came 5th place, you know. And we're like, wow, okay, this is amazing, great, okay.
The first time you came 5th?
5th in EVLS.
Shit.
Yeah, you know.
Who won that year?
Rolly won. Nathan was 2nd.
Rolly won. Oh yeah,
yeah. Lucas Osler there was 3rd, and Pavel from Prague, he was 4th, and I was 5th next to him. You know, so this was like first pro debut. So it was, for me, it was like, wow, this is amazing. You know, so
of course
we kind of, you know, so after that we kind of did more shows and everything else, and the placing then became lower and lower. Like we came to 8th and then 11th, and we were like, okay, maybe we need help. So we spoke to different coaches, and we finally found somebody that said, okay, they'll help us out. And they were trying to coach us through the off season and teaching us stuff. And after a while, we started to prep for a new show for 2019. We started prepping, and we kind of, what he was telling us to do and what we're looking at going, okay, this is not working. You know, we're not getting lean for the show. We're not getting better. And we kind of saying, look, we try and tell them that, look, you know, you're the coach and we want to listen to what you say and everything. But from what we've seen, we've been better before in the past. We've done this better. So are you sure this is a good idea, you know? And you know, we get the whole coach excuse. Oh, you know, I've done this for so many years. I know what I'm talking. Don't worry, just listen to me. Don't worry about it. You know, just do what I tell you. So we're like, okay. So we carried on like listening, and then we got to about 8 weeks out, and I'm still looking like I'm in off season. 8 weeks out from the show. So I'm like, you know what? No. This is a problem. You know, this is not. It's not a good thing. So we said, okay, you know what? Look, thank you very much, but we're gonna take over. We want to get back in shape. So we started working back with just ourselves again. And then we brought in, you know, British Grand Prix 2019. When we did Grand Prix and placed 2nd to Nathan, we basically started prepping ourselves to get for that show, you know. So it was just like, we've had experiences of being with coaches, and we've had experience by ourselves, and we've seen, you know, the difference of the dynamics of how, if, you know, for us, we feel like for a coach to do his job, he has to tell you why he wants you to do something. Why?
Of course.
This is the idea. He don't just tell you, oh, do this because I say so. You know. So it's hard to find, like, we find it hard to find a coach until we find a coach that understands, like, you gotta understand, take in consideration that what works for him and what works for him is not gonna work for us. You know, our body is different. Is you know, and we've taken years of kind of working together to get to that knowledge. So understand that when we say, oh, look, because with me, when I diet, I don't do anything more than an hour's cardio a day. That's it. Anything more than that is, it doesn't work for me. You know, my body just shrinks away and nothing happens. So we kind of like, we know these things because it's happened from examples, it's happened from mistakes in the past. So when, you know, we're telling coach, look, this is what we've tried before. This hasn't worked, this worked, you know, it's not because we're being arrogant. It's not that, because we're coming from a place where we've done it before in the past. And we've made mistakes. So, but you have to kind of work with us to tell us how to get better, not just tell us, okay, you know, forget about what you've done. This is me now. This is what you're going to do, you know.
course,
So
I
yeah,
agree 100% with you. I even add that this is a completely individual sport,
yeah,
and
oh yeah,
someone like you, if you came so far alone, of course that the first thing, if I was your coach, the first
yeah,
thing that I would do for the first month
mhm,
was try and ask you the most about yourself. Listen,
yes,
something, what
yeah,
works for you? Do you like
yeah,
potatoes? What potatoes that? How many
exactly,
can you do?
exactly,
Because you know yourself
exactly.
better than anyone, you know?
Exactly, exactly, and this is what we sort of expected as a coach, that they would ask,
Of
okay, look, we've
course.
seen you come from amateur to a pro by yourself, so tell me what works for you and how can we make it better? Because like I've put on so much muscle in less than 10 years, I've
Look at this
doubled
transformation in 10
my body weight.
years.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
no?
know, I started when I started going to the gym, I was 75, 74 kilos. You know,
Shit.
off season, I'm 140 kilos. That's double the body
How
weight.
tall are you? How tall are
I'm
you?
6 foot, 6 foot.
6 foot. That in meters, that's
In meters,
180.
1,882 or 186, something like that, around that point there.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes. So you're weighing 130, 120?
Oh yeah, so right now in off season, I'm 140, and then
Holy shit.
competition, I'm 124 right now.
And you came that far, just you
Yeah,
and your
just
girlfriend.
us, just us like that. So
Listen,
it,
you made it so easy for a very good coach that it's incredible
yeah,
how that guy was, But life is like that,
and we know that a coach supposed to give you something. They're supposed to learn and teach you what they know. But at the same time, first you got to listen to that. Look, there's things that we've done already that we just ask you to work with us and say, look, okay, this food didn't work for you. Okay, cool. Why don't you try this food? And I'll be like, okay, let's give that a go.
Of
You know,
course,
so
of
you have to
course,
have that flexibility of a coach to say, okay, some things works and something doesn't.
of
I
course.
mean, like
A guy,
I put on, I've put
please
on this much,
continue, continue.
yeah, I put on this much muscle in less than a few years. I mean, like I said, I only started going to the gym in 2012. I only started body in 2014, and I put on that much muscle in that time, and yet my stomach is still
It's
flat.
amazing,
My midsection is still together.
amazing. Yeah,
So when I said to a coach that, because like most coach, I started with a coach and he would say, "Oh, start taking digestive enzymes." And I'm like, why? I don't have a stomach problem. I'm fine. I can eat anything. I'm okay. So why do I need to take it? I'm only going to ruin my own natural stomach problem, my own natural stomach from digesting food. So all these
yeah,
things is like little things that we know through time. So it's just like, you know what your body naturally can do. So when someone tells you, okay, now destroy that and do this, you got to say, look, no, I know what my natural body can do. I don't need to go down that road of taking things that I don't have to.
of course, of course. Especially because there's natural ways of doing that. You can use
Exactly.
pineapple, you can use papaya.
Exactly.
You don't need to. It's so easy.
Exactly.
I really think that you are the one who is going to help one day a coach that you choose how to coach you, because
Yeah.
after giving him all the information, then he will
Yeah.
start working with you, but
There you go.
always
That's it.
consulting you about what is happening. let's
Yeah.
let's imagine he is one coach tells you, listen, Samson, I want you to eat like this the off days and like this in training days, but
Yeah.
tell me how you feel, if you feel more pump, if you feel dense, if you
Yeah.
feel your strength going up.
Yeah.
That's something that a coach must do, otherwise that's
Exactly.
not a coach.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like, some coaches, they have like a set plan that they give to all their
Yeah,
athletes and then they give it
no,
to you as well. And you have to understand that that's not individualizing. That's not coaching somebody. That's just
yeah,
passing the program on, you know.
yeah.
So,
And it even gets worse when they go to the pharmacology. That's even
yeah.
worse, because
Oh, yeah. It gets a
because
lot
that's
worse.
that's even more individual. That's even more individual.
Exactly, exactly. And that's something that is very important, because it's like you don't want to, especially when you're new to the sport, you have to be very careful.
Of
You have to
course.
be careful not to push it too far too quickly. because this is one thing that ruins a lot of people, and it gives you a very short career when you actually push yourself far so quickly. So most of the time, when the coach say, "Oh, what do you do?" and I say, "Oh, I only do this," and they look and they say, "This is it? Only this? No, 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 no. You have to do more." And I say, "Why? But why? Look at the results. Why do I need to push any? I don't need to. This is it. It's working. So why? But you know, they feel like, you know, because everybody else is doing this much, you have to do this much to catch. No, you don't. The results is there, so you don't need. You don't need to. But it's very hard for coaches to understand. You know, nowadays it's almost like, okay, because something's there, you have to take more of it. But it doesn't give you results. It doesn't work that way, you know.
Of course. And I don't know if you agree with me. Since I started doing this YouTuber career, I started speaking with lots of people, and I've been doing a lots of interviews with Brazilian doctors, you know. So I'm 51 years old, and what I see at the moment in our industry is that the ones that pointed us as the bad guys like 30 years ago was the medical community, okay? And now there are a lot of medics, of doctors that are training, and they are understanding, and they are even helping with their own knowledge and analyzing your analysis, your blood analysis, and saying, listen, you have to. And what they are understanding more and more is that less is more, you know.
Yep, exactly.
And that's it, you know. So I think, you know, I think
we have a mentality, you know. We always want to do more. We always want to take more. We want to train more. It's always more, you know. But it's coming out of that mentality, especially for younger people coming into the sport. It's not to fall into that mistake of thinking more is going to give you better results. It doesn't.
But Samson, we are going now through a little bit gray area. But before stepping out of that gray area, I'm going to ask if you agree with me with this assumption I'm going to do. I really think that, especially nowadays, most of the pros, they are guys not gifted genetically. They are guys they are very determined, and they are risking a lot with their health and a lot with pharmacology, you know. And when in 10 or 20 guys someone has the benefit or the luck of having your structure and your genetics, that's a blessing for a coach, because I think you can go so far without doing any crazy stuff, you know, because it's very easy to understand that even, listen, you know why I say this? Even with all the drugs in the world, the evolution that you had in eight years, it was impossible, you know. You really have genetics for this. So a coach can know a lot about pharmacology, but he has to understand that when he's blessed to be in front of someone like you, he doesn't need that, you know. He doesn't need that.
You don't need it. No.
Yeah, it's better to work with food and training methodology, you know, and then the rest is just a plus. It's just a plus, the rest, you know. You agree with me?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think this is the thing with the sport now, you know. A lot of people, they rely too much on the pharmaceutical side than the actual training, the actual food and everything else. And they try to make up for the lack of genetics and lack of training from that, which, you know, supplemented with just too much pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. And you know why I think this happens? Because when people speak about the golden era in the 90s, or even the years of Franco Colombo and Arnold Schwarzenegger, those were the days that only the gifted ones trained and competed, because nobody went to the gym. Only the gifted ones, you know, because even the gifted ones, they didn't know how to eat, or they just trained insanely and they eat everything. And something happened because their body was gifted. But now,
Exactly.
now with the social media and everything, this
Everybody's
became a
doing it.
trend. Yeah, this became a
Yeah.
trend, and everybody wants to be muscular and huge, and they are using a lot of stuff, and they don't
Yeah.
realize that even they use 3 times more, they're not going to get there, you know, because they're not
No.
blessed, you
No.
know.
No.
This is
It's
stupid.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but this is the truth about it. You know, I didn't. And the thing is now, people, they don't want to do the work. They don't understand how much the training and the diet, how much it plays effect. Instead, you know,
Yes,
nowadays you see a young boy who say, "Oh, I want to have abs. I want to have this. I want to have a good look. I want to put on more muscle." And if they don't ask first, "Oh, how do I train?" They don't ask, "How do I eat?" First, they ask is, "Oh, what drugs can I take?" You
of
know,
course,
and you say
yes.
to yourself like, what, really? Like, what about this? No, but my friends say he takes this one takes that, this one takes. I was like, yeah, but you haven't even gone into the gym yet. You haven't even eaten yet. Well, yet your mind is already over there. And I think because it's so easily accessible now, and information, and everything, it's all on social media, and it's all like everything. They're not stopping to back off a little bit to ask the same question. You know, like, I'll be in the gym, and you have a young guy come meet me, and he doesn't ask, man, look, how long did it take you? What did you do? How did you train? How did you eat? No, instead you ask first of all, what drug did you take?
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
you look and say, man, you know what? If that's your first question, you're not ready.
yeah.
You're
And
not ready for this.
the ones that think they are more knowledgeable, they ask, "What protocol are you doing?"
Yeah, yeah,
This
exactly,
is
exactly.
stupid, you know.
And this is it, you know. And you always smile and say, look, you're not ready. If that's your thought first, then you're not ready. You're not gonna make it very far, you know.
Yeah, you know,
And
I've the past 20 years I've had here in Portugal. I brought to guest pose and to
yeah,
give seminars Sean Ray, Kevin Lebron, Dorian Yates, Paul
wow,
Dillett, a lot of guys.
yeah,
Nowadays, I brought Rolly Winkler, William Bonat. You
yeah,
know, I want
yeah,
to bring you, and you know what?
yeah,
I've had the opportunity as a promoter, and because I was paying to speak wherever I want, and
yeah,
I always had the elegance not to speak about that. I even have to say, I was more curious to know how they eat and how they train, because
yeah,
that's what
exactly.
I know. It
It's
works, you know, but the rest
yeah,
is the
exactly,
rest, you know.
exactly. You know, and it's just a different world now. I think now is everybody
Yeah,
wants it right now. Nobody wants to wait. No one has that patience. We all want it, you know, now, 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 now. I want to be big now. I want to be ripped now. I want to have muscles. I want to have this. I want to have that. I want to become pro now. They don't understand that it's still, even I did it very quickly, and it still took me 6, 7 years, but I did it very quickly. Even then, you know, but you know, everybody they want it, you know, guys training for a gym for 1 year and he thinks he wants to become
yeah.
professional bodybuilder in 1 year. It's like, yeah, it
For
doesn't work that
for
way.
example, what I'm trying to say, and going back to the beginning of this interview,
Mhm.
uh, let let's go to you again. That's
Yeah,
why I got so nervous and so emotional. You know why? Because I really, really, really believe that at this moment, looking at the top 10 bodybuilders in the world,
yeah,
you are the only one, with the exception of Dexter, for example,
yeah,
not even Phil. You are the only one who I can relate with the genetics of the golden era. You know, you have the size, you have the proportion, you have the symmetry. You don't have belly gut. Your waist is very small, and your body really seems the body of Flex, Kevin. You know, very proportional,
yeah,
very
yeah,
round,
yeah.
very. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, and
Well,
I think,
thank you so much.
I really think that you can go as far as the top of the mountain, my friend. Really, I really
Thank you,
believe
man.
so.
Thank you
Really,
so
I really
much,
believe
man.
so.
Yeah, yeah, you know, especially, you know, I watch them guys, like I watch the guys from the 90. I watch the Flex, the Kevin, the Sean Ray, all them guys. You know, this is the guys I kind of watched over the years, and you look at what they've done, and you look at how they have achieved the talent that they have on stage, and the way they present themselves, and the way they look. And I look at them, and I think, okay, you know what? For me, that's my goal. That's what I have in mind. That's what I want to achieve. That's the look I want to achieve, where you never at any point on stage, you saw them guys, their stomach out of line. You saw them just walking around the stage. They're always posing. They're always moving. They always look so beautiful when they walk up on stage. And for me, I feel like that's captivating, and that's what I want to achieve when I'm on stage. I want to have that same presence where it's not just guy with a big muscle, but instead it's a guy with just overall look, you know, completely symmetrical, completely balanced.
And you know what? Let me add something, because I know a lot of people are going to be listening to us, and probably they are already fans from other bodybuilders. And I'm not saying that you are the best of everybody. What I'm just saying is that when we speak about competitive bodybuilding, we are speaking about evaluation criteria, you know. And when we speak about competitive bodybuilding in the stage, we have to analyze what points the judge are going to look. And for me, at this moment, you don't have a weak point, you know. The only thing you can get better is in condition, because the rest, you have the size, you have the symmetry, you have the proportion, you have the belly rounds, you have a magnificent shape, you know. So that's not something that we see a lot these days, you know.
And you know, and that's one of the feelings I did.
And you have another thing. You have another thing. You really enjoy to pose, you know, and you don't see this. You don't see this nowadays, you know.
No, you don't, you know. And I say, like, I took it from what them guys in the past, what they've done and how they presented, you know. Sean Ray, beautiful physique on stage. Flex Wheeler, beautiful physique on stage. And they just love being there. They love what they're doing. They do it like professional. And I just think, you know, for me, I have to follow that example. You know, I see that and I was like, wow, that's what bodybuilding. You know, if somebody pays money to come watch bodybuilding, they want to see what they can't see anywhere else. You know, if every show you have just a guy walking around like an amateur and hitting most muscular and, you know, clapping hands like this, that's not, for me, I don't think that's professional, man. That's not what people pay money to come see. You know, they want to see a performance. They want to see grace. They want to see something that they can aspire to. So for me, this is what I feel like I have to embody when I'm on stage, because people are paying to watch the show. And how do you make them feel like it's worth what they're doing, what they're seeing, what they've paid for? So you have to put time and effort into actually posing and presenting yourself and give them that experience. So when they finish and they leave, they're like, wow, I really am glad I came to watch this. You know, I'm really glad I came to see bodybuilding. So yeah, that's what I kind of always feel.
I agree with you, and especially because nowadays it's so difficult to see that part of bodybuilding, you know, because I was saying another day in another podcast that bodybuilders have something that no other sportsman have. You know what it is? You are an athlete. You are an athlete until the day you get to the stage. When you get to the stage, you start performing. So if you perform, you are an artist, you know. So you are an athlete and you are an artist. So that's something that you only find in this sport. Okay. And you are one of the only ones today that really gives a good performance. So you may not win, but if there's 1,000 people seeing, 1,000 people won't forget you, you know, because you will give one moment special, you know. And I think that's real bodybuilding. That's what I think.
Thank you very much. That's truly why I aspire to in bodybuilding. It's truly why I aspire to watching bodybuilding, you know. And yeah, true. That's so true. Thank you very much.
So one thing I don't want to get very into your personal life, but for personal reasons also, when we meet personally here in Portugal, I will tell you my life. But tell me, how long are you with your partner, with your girlfriend?
We've been together since 2012.
2012. And tell me, what does she mean in your life as a partner, and as a friend that's helping you with your career?
You know, a lot of people, they say, "Oh, my partner helps
Let me just let me just ask in another way. Do you think that without her beside you, you would be here today?
No, at all. I wouldn't even have started bodybuilding. No, definitely not. You know, she was the main reason. I mean, even up to today, everything that I do, all the look that I've been able to bring, it's only because of what she's pushed me to do and what she's helped me to do. You know, like there's days like, you know, off season, I'm not a big eater. I don't eat a lot of food. I can't eat a lot of food. You know, I could be sitting there and she'll be like, no, eat more, eat. Here, next meal. You know, diet, same time when I'm dieting, she's like, no, do more cardio. Okay, no, practice more. Even when I'm tired, you know, prepping, I'm tired, I'm in the gym and I'm exhausted and I feel like, oh, I just want to finish the workout and go home. We'll finish training and she'll be like, okay, we have to pose. We have to go posing. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, I'm tired, you know. She's like, no. We have to do this. You know, you want to be a professional? Okay, time to act like a professional. Let's go pose. So she's my backbone. She's everything that, and I'm very, very lucky. I am a very lucky person to have her to actually guide me throughout this whole time. And we work as a team, you know. She's definitely somebody that, if it wasn't for her in this sport, I don't think for 1 minute I would have gone this far at all. You know. So everything I do have to look for, I do owe to her.
That's very beautiful to hear. You know, I lost many years in my life trying to be a playboy, you know, and very, very, very old, very, very far in my life, I understood that having someone beside us that really understands us and help us, it's, you know, going through life with a team of two, it's better than going alone, you know. And
very, very much so. I mean, like we were saying, since we've met, this period where I've been in South Korea is the longest we've been separate from each other. You know, normally every time we go shows, we travel, we're always together the whole time. We're always together. She's always there, kind of, you know, being in the background, always been there. And this is the first period where when we decide, okay, I'm going to come to South Korea, and she was like, okay, you're going to go alone for the first time. You're going to go alone for weeks on your own. You know, this is that she's worried, Dana. She's still worried about me. She's like, make sure that you're doing this, make sure you're eating right, make sure you, and she's checking everything, like just making sure I'm on track. And I know how much, you know, how much it means to her to make sure that I'm okay, you know, especially being out here in South Korea on my own. She's always calling like, look, make sure you're all right. There's no problem. Everything is all right with you. You're doing everything. So it's a big thing, you know, and I kind of truly appreciate her so much for everything I've done. Is because this woman's obviously stuck behind me and stuck by my side the whole way.
It's really, really, I really enjoy, and it's really nice. And you know what? Without being planned, this is one other thing that you know, as a pro bodybuilder, you have to understand, especially nowadays with social media, it's very difficult to have a personal life, you know. You know, today, and I think I'm not going to say something bad about our sport, but it's very difficult to have someone playing this game at your level with a steady relation, you know. Unfortunately, this happens. I think that Flex Lewis, it's one of the lucky ones that has a very, 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 very beautiful life. And I think your example with Marlenka, it's the name of your girlfriend, Marlenka.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I know. I've been checking, you know. That's why when I invited you, since the first time, I said you and your wife, because I understood you were a team, you know.
Exactly, you know. And I think because a lot of people find it hard because I say like she prepares me for competition. She preps me. She's my coach. She's my partner. She's my friend. She's everything that I need in this sport. She's always there. She's always behind the scenes. You know, all the videos that I'm shooting them, she's the one recording everything. Everything, she's the one playing that role. She's a silent partner and everything else. And you know, people, they kind of don't understand at first, like, what, she's your coach, she's your training partner? How? And I'm like, yes, trust me. You know, I'm in the gym, I'm lifting 100 kilos. She'll be like, no, you can lift that. No, put 200. Come on. come on, push. And she's always making me push just that much harder every time. And even more than we train with other guys, and they don't understand. They can't understand how much she makes me push, and they're like, "Wow, she doesn't." Now I'm like, "No, she doesn't give you a break, man. It's always train, and there's no time to talk. In the gym, we start talking. She's like, no, okay, enough talking. Okay, start to train. All right, let's get back to training. So she's always on the ball. She's always like, okay, you have a goal. You want to achieve this. You want to become top bodybuilder. You have to become professional. Because before I even turned pro, she already told me, for you to become the idea of being a pro bodybuilder, you have to start acting right, man. You have to start performing like. So even mentally, it's not just the training side, but even mentally and growing up and being more mature, she was already teaching me this way before I even got here. You have to be humid. You have to hold yourself, humble yourself. You have to obviously carry yourself like a professional at all times. If somebody said, look, I want to have you for an interview at this time of day in the morning, don't say, I'm tired. No. You're a professional. Say, look, yes, what time? Exactly. They say 7 o'clock, immediately. 7 o'clock, you're ready. You always have to be mature. You always have to be professional in that manner. And, this is a lifetime opportunity they've given you. You have to always take it. Don't ever feel ungrateful. Don't ever moan and complain. Always be grateful of this is your job. This is what you want to do. Be grateful to it, So this is something I've definitely learned from her, that she always say, like, oh, every time somebody writes me a message on Instagram, I always reply. It doesn't matter who, I reply. And she's taught me that look, she's always taught me that look, somebody has the ability to write you a message, say, oh man, I've met you this day, I'm really proud, I'm a fan, thank you so much for inspiring. She said, look, if somebody is writing that letter out to you, it means something to them. You have to have respect and honor that point, but at least reply and say, look, thank you very much, I appreciate it, I do see your message, and I'm aware of it. So it's that ability to understand that this is a lifetime opportunity, and it's a small one. Don't ever feel like you deserve it and it should be given to you. Always respect that as a man, respect that as a decision, that you are in 1% of what so many people want. You have that 1% there, so respect it and honor that completely.
Amazing, my friend, amazing. So you are not only blessed with genetics, you are blessed for having found a really, really good woman. That's not easy today. You're really blessed, my friend.
Definitely, I know that much.
I'm really anxious to meet you guys personally.
But we're looking forward to it so much.
Yeah. Tell me something that I'm a little bit curious. And before I ask this, your girlfriend, she's English. She's from England.
No, she's Polish. She's from Poland.
Yeah, because Marlenka, I saw. Oh, okay. That's why she's so determined. Yeah. Not saying that the English people are not, but
you see the Polish drive, the hard-working mentality.
Yeah. Good. Tell me one thing. Are you Catholic?
No, I'm Christian. I was raised in a Christian home, and everything else. My mother's Catholic. So I was brought up, especially coming from Nigeria, Africa. We brought up in a Christian home. And as much as it is, you grow up and you start to see life, and you start to kind of understand things and everything else, and you start to obviously be more placid, not as strong into religion, but at the same time, you always stay spiritual, and you always kind of understand the idea that things happen for a reason, and you have to have belief in something. And this is basically where I am.
Okay, exactly like me. Actually, South Africa, they had a big problem with religion. Most of people in South Africa, they are Protestant.
Yes.
Yeah. But growing through life, it's exactly like you said. I think a grown man has to believe that things doesn't happen just because it happens. Everything has a meaning. And I have a tendency to believe that also.
Yes,
nice.
True. It's really true.
So now speaking a little bit more about our sport,
Yeah.
you were meant to compete in Tampa,
Yes.
and that just didn't happen. Why?
No.
Because of I think the problem was not from US. The problem
No,
was in
it was
England.
the problem. So basically, what happened was we were going to when the show for time because we were supposed to compete beginning of the year. We were supposed to compete in Arnold, South America in
Yeah,
April.
yeah,
So we started prepping for that show, and then obviously the whole coronavirus and everything started. So we said, okay, we just carried on prepping and saying, look, when it's finished, the first show that happens, we'll do that. So we kept on prepping through the whole summer, like just on.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So you are prepping since January.
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
shit!
No. So this is it, man. Because this year, we worked so hard this year. We knew what package we were bringing to the stage. We knew this year was a year where everything was coming together so well, and we were like, okay, you know what? Don't give up this year and just say, oh well, that's the end next year. Carry on working hard, carry on training, carry on prepping.
Very good.
You know that you can do this. You know you can do it. So we carried on prepping through year, and then we said, you know what? When a show happens, it might be in June, it might be in July, it might be in August, it might be in September, but we will find a show. And when it happens, you will get on that show and you show the world what we've been working on. So we started prepping and going through the whole lockdown and carry on training and prepping through the whole process. And then Tampa was the first show that was going to happen. So we were like, okay, 6 weeks from Tampa. Okay, let's focus on Tampa Pro. So we called up the US Embassy. We called up everywhere. Said, look, we know that you can't fly right now to the USA, but as a professional athlete, you know, I'm going there for a competition. Is it possible? And they said, yeah, of course it's possible. Yes, you know, you just have to, you know, fill in this paperwork, have this visa, have it all together. So we're like, okay, we did all that. We got all the paperwork together, got the information, have the visa, everything else, got it together. Called the airline, British Airways, saying, look, we're going in for a competition as a professional athlete. Is it okay for us to book our flights and travel? They said, yes, of course. Why not? Don't see any problem. You know, if you've got everything you need, then why not? So we did all that, everything, did the prep. Thursday before the show, before Tampa Pro, we were supposed to fly from Heathrow Airport. So we drove there, packed everything, got to the airport, you know, got a letter from the IFBB Pro League, got a letter from the US Embassy, got a letter from everything together saying, went to the airport. Got to the airport, checking in, came to the check-in, say, look, here's my paperwork, I'm going for the show. Then the lady was like, let me give me 1 minute, let me call, need to speak to somebody, my supervisor. So she comes in and a Homeland Security officer from the USA was at the airport. And he came in and he looked at the paper. He said, sorry, sir, we don't know that you were about to fly today. We can't let you fly.
What the fuck?
We were like, what do you mean? The paperwork is there. Why can't we fly? He's like, we haven't been told from the USA. We haven't been told that you're coming. So we can't let you fly. So I'm saying, well, my paperwork is here in front of you. Everything is here. The letter of invitation, everything is here. Why is this problem? Why don't you call them up, you know, because this is very early. Call them up, speak to them, get your information.
Of course. And it was not a mistake from you.
Yeah. So he was like, no, I can't call them because there's nobody on the phone over there because of reduced staff, because of coronavirus. And so I'm sitting there, I'm saying to this man, I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, look, I didn't wake up yesterday or last week and say, I want to go on holiday. This is something I've been doing, waiting for all year. I've been training for this for a long time. The reason I've got this paperwork and everything ready is because I've been doing my research. I've been doing everything to be prepared for this. And he said, yes, I know, you know, I see that you've done everything you have to do. You've done everything you're supposed to do, but we need to have permission before we let you fly. So I'm like, but you don't want to call to get permission. You're standing here, you're telling me I need permission and I've got the paperwork, but you don't want to find out if I have permission or not. And the guy, he just didn't want to help me. He didn't want to know. I don't know what it was, but he kept saying, oh, you know, that's all I can do, you know, hope for the best. I'm like, my flight is in an hour.
Shit.
You know, I've got 1 hour left before my flight. And you telling me to hope for the best for what? You know, I'm like, you know, can you know, and he didn't want to know, you know, he just didn't want to help. And we were there in the airport, you know, about to fly to Tampa, and stopped right there in the airport, you know, didn't make it, couldn't fly. And, you know, I just felt like, it felt horrible. It felt like, you know, we've trained.
I can imagine.
We've done all the work for years, you know, we've had show after show after show canceled or postponed. And now we're finally here, very close, and you're telling us, nah, sorry, we can't let you fly into Tampa.
Well, my friend, I can only imagine what you've been through, because the world must have followed.
Oh, yes, you know, it felt horrible.
But at least you got the refund from the tickets and the hotel.
30 minutes before we had to fly. So my girlfriend was like, we sat down and we said, look, okay, this is not going to happen. It looks like we're not going to be able to fly. So immediately she picked up the phone. She's calling the British Airlines. Said, look, can we cancel the flights? Call the hotel. Can we cancel the hotel? Look, this is what's happening. And they were nice. They were understandable. It was, okay, you know what? We'll give you a refund. We, you know, give you a voucher for the flights so you can use it for another time. You can use it for, and we're like, okay, at least we haven't lost money in that way. So it was like, okay, at least that point in. So we then got in the car and then drove back home, thinking, you know, this is unbelievable. You know, it's crazy. You know what's going on in the world.
And after that, I believe that must be really, really a great disillusion. You know. So how did you come to the idea, to the crazy idea to go to Seoul?
So when we came back, we kind of looked at the shows, and we knew that South Korea was happening 3 weeks later. So we were like, okay, you know what, we can do that show. Maybe we can do that show. So we're looking online, saying, okay, can we fly to South Korea? Yes, you can fly. You know, British, they don't have any problem with you flying South Korea and coming back from South Korea. British people don't have no problem. So I was, okay, great, this is good. So call the South Korea embassy and say, look, we want to fly to South Korea in next week, and we want to go for the show, whatever. And they said, okay, but you know, South Korea, when you get it, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So we were like, what? Why do you have to? He's like, yeah, but this is South Korea. You have to quarantine in a government facility 14 days. So it's automatically in my head, we were saying, nah. So, nah, it's not going to happen. No. So that's the end. No. So we were sitting there, we were saying, okay, this is crazy. Like, you know, the show is there, it's happening. We have the ability to actually go to show, but nothing's happened. Everything is falling apart. So we kind of looked at each other, we sat there, and we were thinking in our head, what do we do? You know, what can we do? So we thought, she said, oh, what about, you know, we do it, we quarantine. Is it possible?
Yeah.
So we said, okay, I'll be in a hotel. Let's find out more information on what the quarantine is like. So we called Seoul, we called here. We said, oh, we're planning on coming to quarantine. What's the quarantine like? So they say, okay, you check in at the airport. We take you from the airport to a hotel room. We put you in a room. You stay in the room for 14 days. You can't leave that room. And then after 14 days, you can come out. And I was like, so you can't leave the room at all? He said, no. Can you train? No. In the room only. No, you can't leave. I'm like, okay, what about food? Like, what happens? Say, okay, we provide you 3 meals a day.
Holy shit.
So already I'm thinking bodybuilders, we eat 5 meals a day. It's not going to happen. It's not possible. So we look at it, we're thinking, this is crazy, you know. So we called the promoter up in South Korea. We say, look, we know what's happening. We know obviously the quarantine. Like, how is it possible? If we wanted to do it, what can we do? How, is it possible? And they said, okay, you know what? We will try to get food to you once you get here. We'll try to bring, you know, make it easier so you have more than meals to kind of make it through. So I'm like, okay, there's a small chance, you know, we can do this, you know. I'm already in competition ready. I'm already stage ready. If I just can maintain training from home, you know, just training in that room, you know, doing whatever exercise I can with the bands, with, you know, with push-ups and everything, I can maybe just maintain my muscle mass and maintain everything for 2 weeks, then come out and then do the show. So we looked at it and we said, okay, is it possible? We say, actually, you know what? I'll do my last leg training at home before we leave. So I know 2 weeks, I don't need to train legs. It'll be fine. upper body, if I can do the chest, shoulders, and back, if I can focus with bands and everything else to do those training, it should be okay. I should be able to push and actually make it 2 weeks. So we said, okay, but what about food? So my girlfriend, she was like, obviously, she's always thinking 5 steps ahead. She's like, okay, you know what? All your food, I'll put it in the freezer. We'll freeze it as much chicken and as much meat and stew, everything as we'll make it frozen. We'll pack it up in your bag, and we'll get you over. You pack it to South Korea. So we only allowed a 30-kilo luggage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, clothes. Don't worry about clothes. You don't need clothes. You know, take 2 outfits, take 3 outfits. Don't worry. You know, everything else you can pack. You know, food. Just put as much food in your bag as possible. You know, all the rice, all the chicken, all the protein shakes, supplements, everything you can put in the bag. Make it all about that. Then we went to the shop. Yeah. We bought a small cooker, a little small portable cooker.
Yeah.
We put it in the bag as well. Say, okay, took some pots, took some pans, put it all in the bag. You know, came to the bag. It came up to 34 kilos. You know, this bag was like 34 kilos over. We're like, come on, okay, we just have to try. We can't take away any of these stuff. You know, so called the promoter and said, yes, you know, we're coming. He was like, see, really? I was like, yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna do it. He's like, wow. He's like, bro, you know, good luck, man. This is amazing. This is nobody else wants to do this. Nobody wants to even try. I'm like, you know what, hell, it's crazy, but you know, why not? Let's give it a go. Why not? Let's try it. So got to the airport and about to check the same exact airport as Tampa 1 week later. Got there. About to go to the paperwork again, everything. Got to the till. Checking in, it was Qatar Airways. Bring it in, check it in. The guy took the paperwork. He was like, "Okay, you're flying to South Korea. Okay, give me 1 minute, please." And we were like, "Again?
Here we go again. Here we go again."
My girlfriend, she was standing in the corner, and she's already like, "Not again, no." So he goes 20 minutes. He was gone. 20 minutes away. And she's saying, like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know this." So he came back and he was like, "Oh, okay, don't worry, everything is fine. You know, I'd have to call South Korea and find out that it's okay for you to come." And they said, "Yeah, fine." And we were like, "Oh, first hurdle, first step done."
Yeah.
So he by that point he put the bag on the scale. He saw 34. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's good, it's fine." So we finally got on the plane, 17 hours flight. You know, stopover at Qatar, straight. Finally flew into Seul. Got to the airport, came off, and as soon as you come out of the airport, it's like, okay, quarantine, everything, okay, temperature checks, testing, like just check after check after check after check, and they put a tracking app on your phone so they know where you are the whole time.
What the
everything?
Fuck?
Oh yeah, completely, yes, yeah, everything, you know. So finally got through the airport. Was in the airport 4 hours. Was in the airport when I landed. 4 hours, you know.
4 hours.
And eventually they put you on a bus and they take you to the hotel. And you get to the hotel, all these people wearing like proper white suits, masks, gloves.
Yeah.
They come out and it looks like a government film. It looks like a government movie, you know, like they come in to arrest freaking aliens or something, man. They come in and they take you over and they take you to your room, they give you a key and say, okay, you're in this room 14 days time, we'll see you in 14 days. And that's it. And you're in there 14 days. You don't see another face for 14 days. You don't see anybody. You know, they come in, they drop the food by you outside your door. You're only allowed to open your door 3 times a day. You know, they drop the food outside your door. They put the noise in the tannoy. They say, okay, your meals are outside. Go pick up your meal. You go, you open the door, you take your meal in, you shut the door. That's it. You know, 14 days in like that. So this is the crazy thing. And, you know, I'm in there. I'm trying to manipulate my food, you know, with the food we brought, trying to make things work, to try to get the meals and get enough meals and everything in there. And the promoters, they try to send food, and they said, no, we don't. Governments, they said, no, they don't want you to bring any food in. No, we're not allowed to have any food. You say, okay, what about training equipment? What about some dumbbells? And they said, no, we can't bring any dumbbells. We can't get it. So eventually they sent me a microwave, and I was like, oh, that's a big help. And then after 1 week, my food was just about to run out. I was thinking, okay, this is crazy. And I don't know what, if the food runs out, I'll have to start drinking protein shakes, you know, to make up the protein. So eventually, the promoters finally sent a box filled of egg whites, a lot of egg whites.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, oh, thank you, man. That I can find. That's fine. I can. So we got, and the last week of the show was basically rice and egg whites, all the meals of the day, just eating rice and egg whites. You know? And then, you know, it was crazy. It was hard. It was difficult. And then, you know, on the 14th day, the morning, I'm excited, like, okay, finally, we've done this. Get a call from the promoter. He said, hey, Samson, I got bad news. I'm like, what happened? He goes, South Korea, they're in state of emergency. We have to postpone the show for 2 weeks. And I'm like, no. Jesus, no. After this, on the 14th day, I'm about to leave this hotel. He said, we're going to have to postpone the show for 2 weeks. We can't have the show this weekend. Wow. I was like, you know, it felt horrible. It felt like after all that, it's like
it's too much, isn't it?
It was too much. It really it broke me inside. Like after you've gone through one mistake and another one and another one and another one, and you finally almost at the end, and then it's like, no, not yet. And so we sat there, and he was like,
I don't know if you agree with me, but probably this is one of the few times that social media, I don't know, but you are going to say, was a great help for you, because I think that as me, thousands of people everywhere are cheering for you, you know, and this is
because that day I was up, we sat there, and I was like, you know what, I'm going home. I don't care. I can't do this anymore. Get on the plane. I want to go home. It's over. I don't care. So I was talking to my partner over the phone, and I'm saying, look, that's it. I'm coming home. This is too much. It's crazy. It's too much. So social media, the news came out, and I just got thousands of messages, thousands of support saying, man, Samson, you can do this. You've done it. This is beautiful. Just keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. And me and my missus, we're looking at these messages, and we're looking at it, and we're crying, and we're looking, and we're thinking, you know, people saying, come on, you can do this. Don't give up. Don't give up. And we look at each other, and I said to her, I was like, can we do this again? One more round. Can we go again? Let's one more fight. She said, well, you've come this far. Why not? Let's give it one more go. Come on, let's keep going. So we start making plans again. Okay, hotel, what can we have? What can we do? How can we make it happen financially? How can we support everything? We're speaking to the promoters, and they're saying, man, wow, if you're going to stay, this is amazing for us. We really appreciate it. So we start planning, and we start making it, and it starts seeming possible. And it's like, okay, there's a chance. And I was like, okay, look, I've just paid 14 nights in a hotel room, couldn't see anybody, couldn't do anything on my own. Now, after 14 days outside in the gym and going out and eating, I was like, yeah, this is easy. No problem at all, man. After that, this is no problem, you know. So so basically, you know, we go another hotel outside. We moved in. Promoters picked me up, took me to the show, and they're like, yes. Now we're here, getting ready for another 14 days of going through the whole process again, trying to hit the show. The show, I think the show is aimed to be on the 6th of September. So once again, 5th or the 6th of September. So
it's a Sunday. It's 15 days from. It's 14 days from now.
Okay. So it's on a Sunday from now. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's keep
Samson,
going.
tell me something. Do this time, do you have some guarantees that it's really going to happen, or you don't?
You don't. This is the thing, you don't, because as much the promoters, they obviously, because they've set up, the stage was already set up, everything is ready to go, and they haven't removed the stage. The stage is still there now, and we're going to go look at the stage today. And the promoters, obviously, they've invested a lot of time, a lot of money, and they've been talking with the government. They've been trying to find a way of making the show happen. And they're saying yes, it's going to happen. They say yes, we're doing everything, we're going to make it happen. But with the weight of the world right now, the way the world is right now, there's nothing that's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, you know. But my thinking, my mind, I think, okay, you know what? I've come this far. If I go home and say, okay, that's the end, and 2 weeks time the show happens, and I'm sitting at home watching it, how would I feel? You know, would I be watching and going, oh no, why didn't I just stay for another 2 weeks?
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
understand
like, look,
perfectly.
you know, if I stay 2 weeks and the show doesn't happen, then, you know, I go home and say, you know what, we tried, we did our best, we did our absolute best, you know.
You know what I think, as a fan and as a man with a half century lived, I think that for one standoff point, I understand you perfectly, and I think you made the right decision, because you came so far. It's not because 15 more days that you shouldn't try, but at the same time, I think that you already won a lot of how should I say, good publicity for you. You understand what I mean?
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
it's impossible today to break apart social media from a professional athlete in bodybuilding. So
is the one now.
this is already very positive for you, you know.
Exactly.
I even want to congratulate you here live for the sponsorship from Fuhad. Incredible. I really got.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, for me, that was
Fuhad. Yeah.
We did the interview. And
Fuhad is really, Fuhad
nice
is
guy,
really a good person, you know, really a good person, you know.
Oh yes, you know, and we spoke about that, and he saw what the challenges we've gone through over and over, and how we're still fighting. And he's like, you know, bro, this is what I need in my company, man. I need somebody who's willing to really fight and push, regardless of what the chances are, but still fight anyway. And he's like, you know, bro, yes, I want you to be part of the company if you want to. And I was like, yes, brother, yes, I'm in. Thank you. Yes, you know, for me, I felt like, because I followed him for years, you know, I followed him for years through his career, and for him to ask me that, I felt privileged. I was like, you know, this is an honor, you know. Yes, of course, you know. But
you know, I don't know if this is really a good subject for us to touch in this interview, but I'm going to do it anyway. We are having a friends conversation. You know, I'm just a little bit afraid of the politic regime of this kind of country. You understand what I'm trying to say? These guys are very strict. If the contest didn't win today, probably in 15 days, if they don't want, it won't go ahead.
That's it. There will be nothing you can do about it.
Or this is my background, because I was born in South Africa with all those, you know, problems, and I always see the bad side of things. But the show may go on, but you know, you have a very good competition with a local guy from there. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I think, without taking nothing from this guy, for what I saw, I think there's only 5 or 6 guys competing, and I don't think you don't even have a match, you know. But things are like they are. You didn't ask for that. You are there doing your stuff. You didn't ask for that. I'm not saying it's easy, but what I'm saying is that if they let the show go on, probably they're not going to like that a guy from England comes there and take the title, you know. So,
you know, we feel the same. We sort of thought about it in that same way. We thought about it like, okay, you know what, this is probably one of the things you have to be careful too. But the way I saw it is, okay, look, I want the world to see my physique. I want the world to see my hard work. They don't have to, the judges don't have to like us, you know, give me the go ahead, but the world will watch the show and they will see, look, the physique, what he's brought over past year. Look at it. So that, for me, I want that more, for them to see what we've done. than the actual idea of it. Because yes, I want to win the show, of course, but I want the world to actually watch it and actually see it as it happens. Because for me, that is a bigger reward for the world to see it and say, wow, look at this, than them, than you not getting the result because of whatever reasons. But for me, I'm not too concerned so much about that side of things of, okay, where you might place or what might happen or whatever. I just feel like as long as the world is watching and they can see it, the bodybuilder can see it, that's all I need. That's all it needs to be. That's all I need to worry about.
I agree with you, especially because the outcome at this moment is bigger than what you expected,
Exactly.
But tell me something. Imagine that the worst happens and that the show doesn't happen. Yeah. Are you thinking about the possibility of going to the Europa Pro in Alicante, Spain in October?
Of course. Yes. Oh, nice, even if the show happens, I'm still coming to Spain to compete because I love. Last year, I remember I did. Oh yeah, I'm coming anyway. Because remember I did Portugal last year, and it was a beautiful show. I loved being in Portugal. It was beautiful. Yeah. And I said to myself, this year I was going to come back again because that was such an amazing time, And obviously when the Portugal show got cancelled and everything, I was like, oh no. And then when they said, they're going to make a show happen this year, the European Championship, I was like, yes, of course, I'm coming. I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'm coming. They said, what if you win? Because they say, if you win this show, would you not then rest and do Olympia? I was like, yeah, I'll do that, but I also want to compete in Europe, man. I want this is hometown. This is right here in Europe. So I was like, yes, I will still come to Spain and I will still compete in Spain either way.
Oh, nice.
I want them to see. I want to show the actual people where in Europe that look, I'm here. It's not just for me. It's not just about winning, getting the trophy, going to Olympia. Yeah. For me, I want to build that reputation of actually people actually seeing my physique and say, they can remember, you remember I saw him in 2020 when he came and competed in Spain, and I saw him when he competed here. And I want to make sure that you build up that idea of people not just, doing one show a year and seeing and be like, that's the only time I want to see him.
That's what I say. You are a clone. Yeah. You are a clone. You are a clone of 90 era bodybuilders, They used to compete 10, 15 times a year, So you're a real bodybuilder. You're a really bodybuilder. Yeah, nice. Nice.
And I know, especially, I've already struggled this year. I've already prepped to this point. So after this show, what's another 6 weeks? Because I think after the show, it will be like 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks or something to Spain. Yeah. 3 or 4 weeks.
The show in Spain is the 7th of October.
Exactly, and this show will be just 4 weeks. So
I know because I will be there. I will be there. I go there. I go there to film.
You see, another reason for me to be there. Now I have to show up. So for me, I'm like another 4 weeks of dieting on top of that is nothing. So I'm like, yes, nice. I want to come compete in Spain. So definitely. So regardless of if this show happens or if it doesn't happen, I'm still gonna be in. I'm still gonna be in Spain.
So now I have mixed feelings because I was going to ask you. I was going to keep my invitation for you to come after Seul and spend a week here with me because Portugal is really nice and you can eat very well in Portugal. But if you're going to Spain, I don't want to distract you from the contest. I don't know if it's better to go to Spain and then after Spain come to Portugal and spend 1 week with me. Yeah,
exactly. So for me,
I can bring you. I can bring you and your wife because I go driving and I come driving. Because it's not far. It's like 4 hours. 4 hours driving.
That's not far. Yeah. So why not? So for me, I feel like there's opportunity. Bodybuilding, it gives you opportunity to see the world and meet people and do different things. So when you have the time and you have the energy and you have the strength to do it, take advantage. Do it because this is only one life. So make sure you do as much as you can with it and see as much of the world as you can. So for me, of course, I'm always up for that.
Samson, one last question because I don't want to get too tiring for you. It must be hour for you to eat again. if you get your qualification, because I know that's what you're going after, are you going to be in the Olympia stage this year?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
I don't.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll do whatever it takes to stand on that stage. You know, I'll find a way of getting to that stage this year. I don't know what. I don't know how, but this is my dream. You know, so for me, yeah, I'll be on that Olympia stage this year. I don't care what I have to do, but I'll be on that Olympia stage this year, 100%.
Well, I will add to that I really think, I really believe that you're going to get your qualification, and I believe that you have a place in the lineup, the 10 first guys. I really think you have a place there. I really think that.
That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're aiming for. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
I really believe that, my friend. So just to finish, I want to let you say something to your Portuguese fans. I don't know if you want to make other if you want to thank anybody else, because probably this interview will go around the world. So I will give you
all the Portuguese fans, man. I want to say thank you so much for your support. You know, I've got your messages. I've seen your support. I've seen the comments. I've seen the support you've shown me, especially as somebody you don't even know. You know, I'm still new to the game. I'm still fresh. No many people know. But yet you heard the story, and you've shown me support, and you've sent me so much supporting messages. And I just want to say thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. And those messages and those comments, they really do help give me strength to keep going. So believe me, I just want to say thank you. And I'm looking forward to coming to Spain and coming to Portugal and actually showing you guys, I'm meeting you guys in person and everything else. And I'm really hoping that happens this year. If not, it will happen very soon. But I am very looking forward to that. And, you know, thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, my friend. It will happen this year because I will keep. I'm speaking with you for months, and I'm really anxious to meet you in person.
This year. I wanted 100%. I wanted to happen this year. So yes, that would be amazing.
So you will be here for sure. So I want to, before we go, I really want again to really say to you that I'm really humbled and very, very pleased that you accept my invitation. You know, I'm nobody. I'm just a guy from Portugal, and you really show me. You really show me.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me, man. You know, really appreciate it. Really. I mean, you reached out to me months ago on Facebook, and I was so humble, and I felt so grateful, and I was like, you know what, wow, thank you so much. And you know, of course, I'm always here to do whatever I can to help.
It's impossible not to recognize a bodybuilder like you. You know, you really are blessed genetically. You know, so I had to speak with you, and the way you spoke with me, you immediately, I thought to myself, I want to bring him to Portugal because I can do that. It's not difficult for me. And I live from the sport. It's good for me to, you know, once in a while to have a professional in my gym. And if I can add a professional to a really nice human being, for me, it's super, my friend. So I'm really anxious to begin our friendship personally. Once again, I want to thank you for accepting my invitation. And I want to say that in 15 days, I'll be watching live and cheering for you.
Yes,
and
thank you.
I hope that afterwards, after you speak with your girlfriend, I want just to have 5 minutes with you in Instagram, just to speak with you. And
believe me, I'll be up for that immediately after the show. I'll be like, yes, don't worry. Of course. Thank you so much.
Okay, my friend. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Samson, thank you very much, my friend. It was a pleasure. I hope you keep with your determination, and you know that you're not alone in this fight. You know, lots of people are cheering for you, and I think this is a good energy for you, my friend. You are making something. You are making something really new in the sport, and I don't know if you were going to, if you already realized what you are making, but this is becoming a wave, bigger and bigger and bigger. And if I can be one of the persons that can help you and be an ambassador of Samson Dauda in Portugal, I will always be, because you deserve that, my friend. You really deserve that.
So much, man. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm really, really grateful, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, my friend. I will leave you. And again, thank you very much, my friend. I'll be watching you. And forgive me if sometimes I'm boring you, but I will send you some messages.
Never.
Okay.
Never. Of course not. Of course not.
Okay, my friend. So.
All right. See you soon, man.
Checking out. See you soon, my friend. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you very much. Meus amigos, e perdoem-me aqueles que não percebem inglês, mas era impossível fazer isto de outra forma. O Samson só fala inglês e foi para mim um motivo de orgulho tremendo esta amizade que já mantenho com ele há meses pelo Facebook e pelo Instagram, e que se vai perpetuar para sempre, e que vai fazer com que o Samson venha aqui a Portugal, a convite meu, passar uma semana comigo. Acredito, sinceramente, que o Samson, juntamente com Ian Valier, Hunter Labrada, Nathan Diacha e Hakim Williams, são a nova vaga do culturismo desta nova geração, ao mais alto nível do Mr Olympia, e o Samson tem todo o potencial para estar ali no top 6 Mr Olympia e eventualmente discutir o título nos próximos anos. Por isso estou extremamente feliz por poder ter feito esta ponte, por poder ter tido aqui o Samson connosco. Mais um exclusivo do Unbroken, sempre a pensar em vocês, sempre à frente, o único canal de culturismo em Portugal. Esta semana vamos ter mais uma novidade, estejam atentos. Durante a semana no Instagram também teremos mais novidades. Estejam atentos, meus amigos, e já sabem, não deixem morrer a paixão pelo culturismo. Sejam amigos uns dos outros. Tenham um bom início de semana. Treinem duro e até lá, muito boa noite para todos vocês.